Everybody over in the corner. Everybody over in this corner. Away from the windows. Away from the window in that corner.
Go on to the side.
Everybody get out of the view of the window. Out of the view you can. Do not let her in. Do not open the door. No, do not open the door. We already got someone calling 911.
Karen, do you have your phone?
Already calling. Chris,
Sorry,
start
hi.
calling.
This is Assistant Principal at Hanover High School. We heard two loud bangs, and outside of our door, we have somebody else who let in, so we could possibly have a shooter situation on our campus. Yes. We were told to call. If you have They said if we thought we needed extra assistance, that we would call our dispatch. Yes. Okay. Yes, we do. Yes, we're actually involved in it right now. Okay.
You're in St.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
We don't know if they've got a gun to her head or anything
Like
like
they're
that.
asking her to. We have to look at the big picture, unfortunately.
Stacy, you can just take a picture of you. I feel safe here. I think Chris called.
I called.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
They don't want to know the ring.
Oh, you guys are safe.
Alright, you guys, you need to quiet now because there's exercise. Closer. Closer.
Okay, we're done. Talk back a little bit.
Shooter already. Shooter.
Minutes or
Killer already. Oh, that was the action.
No, I've always seen all of them like over there, not this side.
How long was that?
Sorry.
4 minutes?
Okay, so you shut the door, awesome, right? But something to consider, this is a window to you to see out, but to who can see in. So if you can cover it, right? Nobody got up to check. So let's say you can see, right? And this door is shut. And she's at the door. If you can see, look up and down, left and right. I heard Craig say, yeah, but what if she's got a gun to her head? What if? Your policy is not to let anybody inside. But what if that's your kid?
That's right.
Just saying, you gotta do what you gotta do. These things, I'm not saying to do it, not to do it, things to consider. Right? Hang on a second. So, she's sitting here banging on the door. You don't hear anything, but then you hear a gunshot. And it sounds far away, right? If it's my kid, and you let him in, you let him in. If it's your kid, you let him in. If it's anybody's kid, as long as you guys can use common sense and, okay, you guys know the school better than anybody else, you don't see anybody around, right? What's another option? If that door can be opened, send somebody through that door to look through that window to get a better vantage point in what we call a deep corner, right? So you can see that much further. You can see there's nobody, that farther down, right? It's not hard to do. 2, you guys have windows for a vantage point. You can climb up and you can look. Pop your head up and look, right? You guys call for 911 right away. You guys called dispatch. That was great. She banged on that door forever. I feel sorry for her, but you guys got to be quiet too. You got to treat it like it's a real deal because, yeah, I get it's training, but you gotta play like you practice, right? So you got to be quiet so you can hear because you may not hear. But that was a good point, Craig. What if somebody has a gun to their head?
I think we closed the door a little too fast. I think Mr. T said that because, we heard the shots. Granted, we don't know where they're coming from because it's a lot of echo through here. We don't know if they're right behind this door. We don't know if they're on the other side. So I think that's why we closed the door. But I know, like with us, if we're on the grounds, is we're telling people to get into classrooms, and then we get in ourselves.
Yeah.
But we
So
could
we guys-
have just checked. Hey, get in here quick. Close the door. Boom. That's one thing
Because we are to take kids.
So, and then 2, what could you guys done with this desk? You guys
Lock the
barricade
door.
the door, right? All this stuff is for you guys it's in play, everything. Barricade the door. Then if you barricade the door, you guys have another avenue of escape, as long as you know that this door is shut, right, locked. If you guys feel like this, go to the next one. You guys gotta use your resources. This is another room to go to, right? But for my thing is, if you can shut that, or block that window, because he's not gonna get up there, or she, or whoever it is. You block that to where you can peek out if you need to when somebody comes banging on the door. What else could you tell her to do? You don't let her in.
Run.
Run, or what? Play possum. If she's bleeding, she's injured, and she lays there, and if somebody comes, she's already shot. So they're thinking, okay, she's dead, she's done. She's not moving, okay, I'm gonna move to the next. Because they're not gonna sit there forever. Their whole thing, if you guys don't know, is numbers. Craig did the last shooting, and before he died, he shot 20 people. Seriously, that's how they think. My next deal is, I want to have my body count's going to be higher. That's how these guys think. They're not going to worry about her just not moving in his blood. Tell her to lie down, right? If you really are that, don't just let her sit there. Give her some direction, student, whoever, adult. Give them the direction on what to do. What else did you guys think? You guys heard the gunshots. What was going on with the gunshots? They were coming closer, right?
Yeah.
You heard it far away, and then you heard it closer. Even more reason not to open that door. Yeah, she's banging on it, but she's now bringing attention to this classroom. Hey, play dead. Or it doesn't hurt you guys to look, right? If you heard that gunshot and it sounded far away, peek out, right? Just like if you're letting students in, right? You're like, hey, come on, right? Whatever you guys decide to do is what you guys decide to do. But there's just options, right? Options for you guys to do stuff.
I think another option we have to look at too, and what went through my mind is, how do, without, of course, I didn't go to the door, someone else did. How do we know she's not trying to get us to open the door and has the gun? We don't know that. I mean, we may recognize the student, but how do we know she's not one of the active
don't.
shooters? So that's why.
Well, I mean, you don't.
Yeah.
If she's an active shooter, you come to that door and she's gonna start shooting through that glass. Common sense comes into play in everything we do in life. You always have, but you can what if to death, right? You can what if everything to death.
Close the door.
We're supposed to do it.
Oh, okay. Scenario 2.
Not yet. You can what if everything to death. You just have to use common sense and what makes sense. If you can save somebody's life by looking around, you ain't gonna shut the door. I mean, you guys, we have policies and procedures just like you guys do. If I go against or outside my policies and my procedures, I just have to justify what I did. I may still get thanked for it, right? But I may not. I did what I did, and this is why I did it. It's no different in your profession. If you do something, you go outside your guidelines, justify what you did. Because if you don't, they're just going to thank you for it, and you're going to be like, okay, you take the hit. But if you just, this is why I did what I did. I know that student. I recognize that student, right? Student has no history of issues, no violence, no mental health issues. I look, she says bleeding. Hey, step away from the door, whatever, so you can see your hands, right? Because you're afraid she may be the shooter. Step away from the door so I can see your hands, right? I mean, it's really one of those things where nothing's by the book. It's on the file.
You know what, sir, they kind of told us, like, don't open the door.
You don't have to. I'm not saying open the door. I'm saying you don't have to, but you have to use these kids are in your guys' protection.
Yeah.
That's what I look at. I'll give you an example. We were looking for some burglary suspects just south of Century, and they had a kid come to Century, and he wanted to come in, and I says, well, there's no active shooter, but are these guys a threat to the campus? Could they be? Yeah. Could they be whacked out on some drug and they're not going back to jail? They're not going to do the rest of their life. They'd rather die.
Yeah.
But I said, look, if you can see the kid and you verify he's a student, you can see where we're around it, well, then let him in.
I think
Tell the district to come at me and let me.
the training from before has changed.
Yeah.
Because we are now recognizing that these events are fluid. And so, you have to be able to make, where we said before there's a lockdown and everything, that nothing opens up until an administrator comes in, we might not have a scenario like that anymore. And so in today's scenario, we want the information to go back out there that just as Cardella was saying, if you can justify saving that life, okay, or letting that in, then, make all the precautions to do so. And that's a discussion that, we want to be a little bit more organic among this particular team right now. So that we want to practice that. And that's why we have so many different scenarios going on today. And so, this was the first one. We jumped with what we knew. But I think that, as we go through this morning, chip in, talk, and see what else do we need to do so that we can experience that. And, having a locked door might have been a solution, last year. But, things have changed, and so that's what we wanted to practice.
I'm glad you brought that point up, because my first thought was get behind that desk, do not open that door, but then it's like, okay, it's been on for so long, it's drawing attention now. So I'm glad you brought that up.
So, use the resources in this room, and these are, we selected 5 different locations for this to happen, and if we need to turn things upside down, we have Chris's full permission to
Go ahead.
and stuff like that. So just to really practice, when we saw the video in the training this morning, the Run Fight Hide, practice that, take advantage. We don't need to necessarily have the room in this particular configuration throughout the whole morning, except with the exception of the camera on that desk. So everything else is fair play. What I saw was, a lot of people just observing and then getting yourself to a safe place. So the majority of this went to this particular corner, and you know, we remained quiet, we realized that it was, there was something going on and something, you know, that everybody was, to me, was thinking about, okay, what are we going to do? And so I appreciated that, you know, you didn't take this as a, you know, as just an exercise, but you really were taking it very seriously. And in a situation like this, yeah, you have to maintain your calm, but you have to listen to one another. And so I think that will probably come, you know, in terms of your suggestions and one of your suggestions in the later scenarios.
I think what stood out to me was we didn't hesitate. A lot of our campus supervisors admin right away. You guys closed the door, turn off the lights, and that was excellent. I felt like, okay, we didn't hesitate, we did exactly what we needed to do. So that was the thing that I observed right away. I thought that was excellent.
And remember, if you don't have a game plan, start thinking stuff through your head. If Tony or Mike, anybody goes in a classroom, hey, can you do this, can you do this, can you do this? That way, everybody starts thinking that way, and it doesn't have to just be one person. Hey, can you get the door? Can you get the blinds? Or, you know, can you shut them? Can you do whatever? Can you make sure that door's locked? Can you, let's put something in front of the desk. Many people doing that, get that thing, many hands means less work, right? Get that work done and get to your safe spot. If you got cubby holes like this in the classroom, shove bodies in there. That's where they can't be seen. So you're not all piled up and start shoving bodies in places where you can secrete them. You'll be good.
I think one of the comments when we were down in the corner is we noticed that there were mirrors, and so that was a thing, you know, like she could see in the mirror to see where.
That's why I say block that window, right? It's more so they can't see you because they do have mirrors. And then you have blinds up there. I mean, unless they have ladder doors they want to have, they're not going to see from up there. But that's really important, is to block that window. Because a lot of times they block windows because the classroom's not, you know, it's closed for the day or the week because they're renovating or whatever. They don't know.
The other plus here, because it's a high school, is you're gonna have kids that can help. You're gonna have guys that, you know, that month, if you need to move straight. If you're in an elementary school, if you're in first grade, you're gonna be the only adult in there that's taking charge. That's a big difference.
So let me give you, let me spin a little bit. Doors, classroom doors open, you start hearing that walk, you hear it from way over there, and this gate's open. Do you need to go into a classroom? Right? What is your policy dictate? Lockdown, right? But is it better instead of lockdown, boogie, get out of here? Right? And if you're hey, everybody meet over on the parking structure, first floor. Tell the kids to run, right? Majority of them are gonna go. They're gonna go where they're told to go. You're gonna get some clowns who go, oh, we're out, let's go. But for high school kids,
Just get them out.
parking structure on First Street, first floor.
Yeah.
Run,
Right.
right? Get them a place so they can corral, and then you can say, okay, everybody's accounted for. I got no problem with that. I can't see the district having a problem with that versus sticking you in a potential conflict. If you have an outlet, get them out. I mean, I don't know.
No, that's fine.
I think that's common sense. Remember,
Well,
common sense.
like I said, like I told you guys, no one's gonna get in trouble for fighting. If that's what, I mean, that is ridiculous. Oh my God.
Well, that's what we're practicing.
Well, you know, that reminded me, you know, with
No,
the incident in Connecticut, one of the second grade teachers, and that's why when everybody was going, it reminded me, because she hid all her kids, because they're little. She hid her kids in the cupboards, and and I remember seeing a picture of that classroom where she hid them. You would think, how did she get 20 kids in? But they're little, and when you're in a situation like that, you do what you need to do. And that room, they survived, but across the hallway, you know, the whole class.
And now let's say somebody does get in the room, and it's high school, and you don't have that option to fly. What about fighting? We call it a swarm technique. How many football players, basketball players do you have in here? How many big able bodies do you have in here? We call it the swarm technique because when we go into like a room, we don't stay together, we fan out. Because if there's somebody in the room that's gonna shoot us, now they have to really take, when you're in a mask, they just go like this. Now they really gotta take time to get, but if you guys are there, swarm them. You can do that. You can. Yeah, you may get hurt, but in my opinion, you guys are the first line of defense for these kids until we show up. First line of defense for yourself. So have a plan. I drive around my car all the time thinking about stuff. Seriously. I drive through my own car. I drive, what happens if the earthquake goes on? What happens if this? One of these big rigs and it's getting flat and it's got full of gas and on the freeway and it goes up. What am I gonna do? You gotta start thinking about this stuff, because it's that real. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Brandy, I'm sure you're aware, almost 30 years ago, we had an incident at San Gabriel High School. Okay, I mean, it's probably the first time, you know, back then, people didn't think about kids bringing guns to school.
88 or
It was 88, 87, and who took the kid down? The football player. The football, and that was, you know, if you walk into the principal's office, there's a proclamation, because it was the first school that anything like that happened. And, you know, he came in with a gun, but they took him down, the football player, in class.
He held the class
Hostage for a few hours.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of you probably weren't even born, but that happened in our district in 1980.
And
Yes.
that's the reason why not to all get in one spot. If I got somebody here and the guy comes here and doesn't see me, right, I'm called down by that, I can jam up, push his gun away from everybody else and tackle him. That's for the other scenarios. Not yet.
We need to leave.
A little bit around.
Go ring the bell.
5-minute bells in a ring, towards the end, and then we need to be upstairs for scenario 2. We're watching the quad, so use this
That's
stairway
something straight
and
across.
go south. The middle hallway goes south, and then we're gonna be on the A deck to watch. But I don't think
We've been over.
Is that fishbowl, Lindsay?
No.
What?
No, it's football center. Lunch course.
It's a lunch.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, for the area in front of the auditorium, but we need to be on the upper deck.
Thank you.
of the A deck. So,
Anybody got any questions? Now's the time to ask.
So everybody's supposed to be quiet in this scenario. What if you have somebody who's hysterical? And just.
Do whatever you gotta do.
Take A, scenario 1, unit B6.